Christmas is created, not real. And Jesus' birthday is not Christmas Day, December 25th. Jesus' birthday is in Enoch calendar, the 7th month, 11th day, which always land in our September, the month of September. And let's see. So why they pick September is because of that. And also why 7 is equivalent to 9 is because the Gregorian calendar is like 2 months off, right? So 7 is equal to 9. But at the same time, 7-Eleven, they have this 7-Eleven chain for pretty much like forever, worldwide, really. And if you put 7 and 2 ones, sum it up, is equal to 9. So that's, also the relationship between 7 and 9. And 9-11 is equivalent to 7-Eleven. And so that's why they pick the September 1+1 day to attack as disguised as a terrorist attack, but technically and literally it's a FF to change, not change, to shift the world into a more chaotic timeline. I should say to a relatively demonic timeline, which is, ever since then, since we have shifted, and then now they shift like over times, but like that was the major shift. And then another major shift, of course, everybody knows, since 2012. So that's why we are currently living in the chaotic timeline, which is the alternate disrupted timeline. Okay, so Christmas, the origins of Christmas technically has 3 different pagan holidays. I like festivals, holidays, whatever you want to say. The first one, of course, is the Yule festival, they are celebrating winter solstice, which is the mid-winter, in the middle of the winter. Remember, solstice is in the middle of the season. It's not the beginning of the season like the Gregorian calendar tell us. Everything they tell us is a lie. So winter solstice, summer solstice is in the middle of that season. So winter solstice is the middle of winter. Summer solstice is in the middle of the summer. I've been, repeating myself over and over, like over the past few years, because people still believe on the Gregorian calendar for some reason, even though they say they are the truther. I don't understand why. Clearly, if you go Google witchcraft, pagans, or druids, or whatever calendars, they will tell you the truth. Winter solstice is the midwinter, in the middle of the winter, December 21st or December 22nd. Summer solstice is in the middle, it's mid-summer. That's why, what's that called? The play, Shakespeare, one of the Shakespeare's play, Midsummer, the night in the midsummer or whatever, why he wrote a play like, naming it as midsummer. Because it's an important day, midsummer, because it's the summer solstice. Because Shakespeare is one of them. And Shakespeare was not the one who wrote all his plays. He just the name. He just a speaker of all those plays. Those plays are written by the demons. And he, of course there should be one writer or whatever to, claim him or herself as a genius, like the Harry Potter. Who wrote the Harry Potter? Do you think that transformer wrote that Harry Potter? No. In Scotland, no. It's the demons wrote it, and then pick one transformer to claim the reward. Simple. They every single time since the beginning of their fall, they always lie. Okay, man, I get angry now. Okay, calm down. So, taking place on 21st through 22nd, the ancient Druidic fire festivals. And then is the winter solstice. And then actually they take it to spin it off to many different names of the festival. This is one of the names, the Lights of Arthur. King Arthur was born on winter solstice. That's what they say. I don't know. But King Arthur is related to demons, dragons, and witchcraft and everything. Okay, so Yule, Wheel of the Year, mark the celebration of both the shortest day of the year and the rebirth of the sun, which is the beginning of the longer day. So the shortest transform to starting to have a longer day than night, right? That is their called transformation. They always like transformation because they are transformed. They are transmuted. Period. Not transformed. From the fall, from heaven to earth, they transmuted. They can never be an angel again. Their DNA transmuted, changed forever. Okay, um, so of course they use the moon's revolution to count the days, the important days as well. Let's see, and then the custom of burning the Yule log, the Yule associated tradition that is most familiar to people today, was performed to honor the great mother goddess. Okay, so the great mother goddess, I think, is Sophia. The first fall from heaven, but she was not an angel. She's one of those beings in heaven before the fall. Then after the fall, she transformed into some kind of evil being. And then she created like a lot of, not created, and then I think she didn't create. I think she had, I don't know, sex with one of the angels, which is Satan. Then, gave birth to like many evil beings. But they didn't say it. They say that she created evil evil beings because she was trying to be like God, create different beings, but unsuccessfully because she was not God. So the products were evil beings instead of like angels or humans or like all those creatures in heaven. So I don't know which one's which, but like technically, no one can create anything other than God. So she probably had sex with one of the angels, which is Satan. But in the book of Enoch, the devil created Satan. So I don't know. They probably change. Either they change the books of Enoch or they change the Bible. So anyway, it's similar. So it doesn't really matter until in heaven we can ask God, what is that all about Satan? Was he the angel or was he the devil's son? I don't know. So the log would be lit on the eve of the solstice using the remains of the log from the previous year and would be burned for 12 hours for good luck. So remember, Yule festival is honoring the great mother goddess. So this is the spin-off into Christmas because as the time goes by, people reject the pagan, which is witchcraft, right? Pagan holidays, witchcraft holidays, witches holidays. So they disguise themselves as a Christian holiday to continue to celebrate what they've been celebrating, but just a different name to disguise themselves so that the whole world celebrate with them. So they technically is stealing the powers of the rest of the world's people, right? When you worshiping something, there's powers there. So they literally take away the powers of that to celebrate uh, their evil deities, which is right here. This one is Great Mother Goddess. Decorating the Yule tree was also originally a pagan custom. The Yule tree, which is the so-called quote-unquote Christmas tree, brightly colored decorations would be hung on the tree, usually a pine, to symbolize the various stellar objects which were of significance to the pagans, the sun, moon, stars, and also to represent the souls of those who had died in the previous year. The modern practice of gifts giving evolved from the pagan tradition of hanging gifts on the Yule tree as offerings to the various pagan gods and goddesses. Some of the current traditions surrounding Father Christmas or Santa Claus can also be traced back to Celtic roots. His elves are the modernization of the nature folk of the pagan religions, and his reindeer are associated with the horned god. Horned god sounds like what? Um, One of the pagan deities. The horned god, it sounds like Baphomet, right? Although Christmas is a major holiday in Ireland, it is not widely celebrated in Scotland. Some historians have suggested that the reason Christmas is downplayed in Scotland is because of the influence of the Presbyterian Church or Kirk, which viewed Christmas as a Papist or Catholic event. As a result, Christmas in Scotland tends to be a somber event in direct contrast to the next Celtic festival, Hogmanay, held on January 1st. Hogmanay is generally considered to be the much more significant celebration, and it is a tradition that is beginning to spread outside of Scotland's borders. Okay, so that is the major origin, the roots of the Christmas is from Yule festival, and then the Yule tree is actually, like here it says, but I suspect, um, the decoration hanging on the tree also represents souls of those who die in the previous year. I think the soul, it could be they sacrificed or they killed, but this article somehow toned down the evilness of the Yule festival. They also revealed horned god. Santa Claus is Odin, that deity. I will explain a little bit later. Okay, so that is this. Mistletoe. So the plant is half parasitic because Many species of mistletoe also conduct photosynthesis, which is in some cases allows the plant to live on its own. Okay. Remember the plant has white fruits. Evolution of a tradition. Ancient Greeks in the earliest known culture to venerate mistletoe. The Greeks referred to its ripe berries as oxburn and considered it as a symbol of male fertility. In Greek mythology, Aeneas carried mistletoe to protect himself on his journey to the underworld and ensure his return. The Druid priests in ancient Celtic times performed the ritual of oak and mistletoe. The Druids considered it a sacred plant with great medicinal and mythical powers. So, which is they also use mistletoe to make potions. So it's pretty much like the witchcraft ingredients for one of the ingredients for witchcraft. And so the Druids sacrificed two white bulls and feasted under the oak. That's their tradition. And then one of the priests climbed a tree to harvest the mistletoe, a potion from which they believed would make sterile animals give birth and counteract any poison, though in truth, mistletoe is toxic to people. In Norse mythology, the god Loki tricked the blind god Hodor into killing Loki's twin brother Bodor with an arrow made of mistletoe wood. The tears of Frigga, which is the mother, are said to be the berries of mistletoe. And actually, there's another saying is Frigga asked everybody, like plants, trees, animals, to not to kill Volker, the sun, but she forgot to ask mistletoe. So then Loki tricked Hodor to kill Balder because of that. So mistletoe actually is representing murder. But then, this is another story. I think it's glamorized the whole murderer story.